Welcome back to another episode here on Your Life Tips with Coach Paul. I am Paul Ibarra, the founder of Identity of One Coaching, and I specialize in helping men and women like yourself break free from your past and identify your true identity, which will uncover your gifts and talents that are on purpose for a life of freedom. As you dive into this podcast, grab a pen and pad, your favorite flavored coffee, or whatever you may be into this very moment, and get ready for tips and nuggets to help set you free. Remember, you can find me at setfreelife.net. All of my resources are there for you, and you can connect with me on all my social medias as well. So with that being said, let's dive right into this conversation. Hey, my friend, and welcome back to another life tip here with Coach Paul Ibarra. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button and dropping me a review down below if you haven't already, and let me know how I am doing. All right, so let's dive right into today's life tip, and that is life tip number 43, which says a rest season won't last forever. Get back to work. As some of you know, we just transitioned out here to Colorado, and a while back we were staying in an Airbnb. And so this was I'm just going to be honest, it was a rough season for me because I'm constantly used to being on the move. I'm constantly creating a podcast or content or a video or a live video, live stream, Periscope, all of those things, right? But, sometimes we have to sit back and rest, really gain new perspective, see what's most important, journal, pray, listen to what our spirit is saying, listen to what God is saying, and really, truly dive into a rest season. Those seasons are very much important, no matter who you are, whether you are a CEO of a company, a pastor of a church, a leader of a ministry, a doctor, a dentist, a bodybuilder, whatever that may look like, a farmer, right? Farmers let their land rest. And every 7 years, they have to recultivate that ground and let it rest for a season for it to be able to have the nutrients and let it rest from producing all that fruit. And so it pertains right back to our spirit. It comes back to our physical lives as well. Sometimes we have to cultivate new habits, and some of those habits are chilling out. Some of those habits are rest. Some of those habits are taking a deep breath and just saying, okay, I'm just gonna chill and do absolutely nothing. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so in these seasons, and in my season particularly, man, I was having such a blast. Some of these podcasts that I was recording a few weeks ago or a month ago were straight out of that season. But this one here, this life tip really truly blessed me because as I was in this Airbnb, man, I was enjoying the mountains. I was enjoying the snowfall. I was enjoying my puppies. I was enjoying my wife, even though this place was so small. It was 500 square feet, and we had just moved from an 1,800 square foot house. Now all of our belongings are in a 500 square foot studio, basically. Beautiful Airbnb, beautiful owners, beautiful people that, were just awesome people that were the owners of this Airbnb. But man, it was tiny. So we had to really get used to that. And so in that rest season, I began to be a little bit uncomfortable. I was in a place where I'm like, oh man, I gotta get moving, man. Like I can't just sit and just do nothing. And so that rest season was probably a month. And even prior to that, we had finished our house. We finished the remodels. And so it was time for me to really dive into a lifestyle in front of my computer almost 8 to 10 hours a day. And that's hard for some of you. It was hard for me. But the truth of the matter is that when I finally got to a place where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this rest because at some point I'm really going to have to get back to work. Well, that season came. I really started feeling myself being complacent. Like, man, I could do this all day. I was doing Wake Up in the Word, my other podcast that I do live stream on Facebook. And I began to realize, I felt the Lord saying, It's time to get back to work. It's time to get up. It's time to start diving back into those life tips. It's time to take everything that you've learned through this life season of rest and really, truly get back to work. Write content about it. Write about your life. Do what you do. And so my question for you today is this. Are you in that rest season in your life? Are you in a place right now where it's the rest has almost gotten complacent? Do you have dreams or passions that you want to work towards? Is there something that's been in the back of your mind for years that you've never really truly tapped into? Things that you know will change somebody's life. Things that you know will bring inspiration to the world. What is that thing? Your rest season just might be over. Because if you're being frustrated, feeling frustrated, nothing seems to be clicking, it's time to step out of that area and that atmosphere of your life and start accomplishing everything that you wanted to do in life. One of the gifts that I have this year is the gift of time. And you may be like me, I don't know. But you may be that person that is like, man, if I only had time to do this. And maybe you've been laid off. Maybe you got fired. Maybe you've moved to a whole new area. But you're in a place now where you're like, oh my God, I got to get to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. How about you just get to work with the things that you've been wanting to do? Right? There's two lessons in this. If you've been chilling long enough, get back to work. But if you're in a season where it's wide open, find the thing that you've been wanting to do and zero in on it and make it happen. So, thank you so much for tuning in for life tip number 43. And I will catch you in a few days with life tip number 44. Now, just so you know, these life tips will be in a book this year. I have put a goal for June 1st to launch that book. And so pray for me that it comes out with all the stuff that I do. I'm just being totally transparent right now. That book is coming out, so you don't want to miss it. It'll be on Amazon. And I'm hoping that the way we create it, it will be like a Rolodex to where you can add your notes to it and really ponder on these life tips. So I thank you, my friend, for allowing me to pour into your life and speak into your life. If this has brought you any value, do me a few favors. Number one, share this out. Share this out with your friends and family. Number two, drop me a review down below. If you're here on Apple Podcast, if you're on Spotify or iHeart or any of your favorite podcast platforms, hit that follow button so that when the next life tip comes out, you are able to get those notifications so that you can be set free. All right. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at identityofonecoaching@gmail.com, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.